we now have to perform a little secret weapon here on our file. Our template, which I'm going to open, is done. It's perfect. We've got all of our layers. We've got our fold lines and our cut lines. But we have a little bit of a problem here. We have something that we need to take into consideration. We're only going to be printing this package to cut and fold, but our paper is twice the size. So if we were just to place an image on that file, let me show you what I mean. I'm just going to open a picture, and I am going to paste that picture in, and I'm going to do something we never do, is distort our picture just to fit. Now, so I print this. We just doubled the amount of ink or image that is going to print. Now, in the real world, in industry, if you times this by 50,000, 100,000, you're going to now see some serious dollar bills get thrown out the window. So this is not how we set up our file for production. We're going to turn this off and hide it for a moment. We're going to go back to our template. We need to make a reverse mask or a negative mask so that we are not putting color outside of our image area. But we don't want to make a file that goes right to the edge. As we've spoken, we need bleed on our file. So there is extra room around the file for cutting. So what we are going to do is look at our outline. I am going to select the outline, Command C or Edit, Copy. I'm going to make another new layer. I'm going to lock my previous, and I'm going to paste it in place. As you can see, it's not exactly in place. It's okay. We are going to distort this. You notice that it's bigger and wider. I would like to see this about 1/4 of an inch bigger all the way around. That's a good bleed size. But you're going to say to me, Mr. Anderson, we have a problem. Let's zoom in. Right here, we're not bleeding. Right here, we're not bleeding. Down here, we are not bleeding. Because you can't just expand a selection. You're going to have to go in and fine tune this. Now, this little gap of ink, not a big deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry this to here. And then I'm going to get my minus tool, which is a pen tool, and I'm going to eliminate that point. Now, deselect, reselect, select with the direct selection tool the anchor points within the shape you want to move. And now you can see if I use my arrows back and forth, I can widen that area. I could also click and move this way. It's just not as smooth. Now, we need to do this to this other side. So what I'm going to do is deselect, come back in, find that point, bring it up to match with this, bring it over, and again, minus that point. Now, this is pretty close, not overly worried. We just need 1/4 inch of bleed all the way around. Now here we go, down here. If we were to box this in, we'd have a little white triangle. That's not necessary. Let's just eliminate some of these points. Using the minus pen tool, subtract the point. Subtract the point. Go back to the selection tool. deselect. Now you notice something strange here. Using, again, the direct selection tool, click a point you want to move, hold shift, click the next point and pull. Deselect. Go to the next point. Click, push shift, click and pull. So you're going to be moving some of these shapes in and out. None of this needs to stay. We are going to minus these out, but you want to first activate a point so we can see our points. Using the pen minus tool, minus, minus. That is perfectly fine. Now, this last, we want to deselect, reselect, shift, click, pull, and bring it out. Deselect, shift, pull, bring it down. You really feel like you want to make it perfect? Tweak it. But now you have a bleed mask, a 1/4 inch around your file. But the problem is, if I select it and I fill it, it fills the shape. Well, we don't want that. We also don't want a stroke now because we're looking at a solid. Turn it off. Deselect. This is the only active layer. Let's lock it. Let's make a new layer. On this new layer, we are going to blanket the whole canvas, corner to corner, with a rectangle. I'm going to make it pink. So what we have now visible is the yellow positive, but then the overall blanket. Unlock both your pink rectangle and your inner mask. You can use select all. You know how I feel. Command A. You should see an active outline for the box, and also you should see the outline of your shape. We are going to divide these two or cut them apart. Using the Pathfinder, over in your right tool menu, you can go Window, Pathfinder. Mine is already open, so I'm not going to release. And you can see the Pathfinder tool. I want to divide these shapes. Click divide, and you'll see that intersection become brighter. You'll also notice they've combined. We don't have yellow anymore. You can turn it on, turn it off. You can turn it off, the pink, and there's the yellow gone. And now you don't see the selection. We can actually delete what was the yellow layer. Don't panic. Command all, it's still there. They're divided, but they're two shapes that are fit together. Go into the object menu and ungroup them. Deselect. Go to the center and select the center. Hit delete or edit, cut. And there you have it, folks. We've now just created a reverse mask. I'll turn on my outlines, I'll turn on my fold lines, and now we have a pink negative mask. What was that? It's pink, it's ink, it's going to cost money? You are correct. In our next lesson, we are going to show you how to prepare that for InDesign, where we are doing our package design. That's all for this lesson. This is a reverse mask. The pink is going to prevent image from going outside of those boundaries. We can now print on the paper. If I want, I can show you this in white. Let's make a new swatch. And now our box, still there, but we can put our image in there, and we are not wasting ink. Watch, turn it off, lots of ink waste. Turn it on, 50% less. Okay, folks, thank you very much. Our next lesson is taking this into InDesign and how we prepare to do so.